Alright class, let's imagine something big. What if World War III started in 2025? Now don't panic, this is just a thought experiment. But it's important because understanding how world wars begin can actually help us understand how to prevent them in real life. Setting the stage. First, let's look back. World War I started in 1914 after one assassination. World War II started in 1939 after invasions in Europe and Asia. Both wars began because of alliances, rivalries, and fear. Now it's 2025. The world is very different. We have nuclear weapons, cyber attacks, space weapons, and global trade. So if World War III began today, it would look nothing like the past. How could it start? Wars don't just pop up out of nowhere. Something has to trigger them. So let's imagine a few possible sparks. Taiwan crisis, China invades Taiwan, the US and allies step in, Russia versus NATO, Russia attacks Poland or the Baltic states. NATO responds, Middle East explosion, Israel, Iran and neighbors clash, pulling in America, Russia and others. Cyber Pearl Harbor. A massive cyber attack shuts down power grids in the US or Europe. Each of these could drag multiple countries into the fight. Who would be involved? Now let's list the big players: United States and NATO, Europe, Canada, maybe Japan, South Korea, Australia. China and Russia, possibly with Iran, North Korea, and a few others. Neutral countries like India, Brazil, or South Africa, who would try to stay out but might be forced to choose sides. This would not be just one region's war, it would be global, modern warfare. World War III would not look like tanks rolling across Europe in the 1940s. Instead, cyber warfare. Banks, hospitals, and airports could be hacked. Satellites, imagine GPS, internet, and communications shut down. Drones and AI, cheap, deadly, and everywhere. Hypersonic missiles, too fast for current defenses. Nuclear threats. Even if not used, they would hang over every decision. The battlefield would be both physical and digital. What happens at home? Okay, let's bring it closer to our lives. What would everyday people feel? In America, gas prices skyrocket, internet blackouts, possible rationing of food. In Europe, refugees fleeing war zones, cities preparing bomb shelters again. In Asia, factories shut down, trade routes collapse, millions lose jobs. Worldwide, the economy crashes, inflation explodes, and poverty spreads. So even if bombs never fall on your city, you'd still feel the war. The nuclear question. Here's the scariest part. Could nuclear weapons be used? In World War II, the US dropped atomic bombs on Japan. Today, 9 countries have nuclear weapons. If Russia, the US, or China felt they were losing, they might consider using one, maybe a small tactical nuke on a battlefield. But once one is used, it's very hard to stop escalation. That's why many experts say nuclear war is a lose-lose game. Is there any hope? Yes, there is. History shows that leaders often pull back at the last moment. During the Cold War, the US and the Soviet Union came close many times. But they always stopped because the cost was too high. Today, diplomacy, the United Nations, backdoor talks, and even business ties act as brakes. No leader truly wants to destroy the world they live in. Conclusion? So, what if World War III started in 2025? It would probably begin with a regional crisis. It would involve cyber attacks, drones, and maybe nukes. The whole world would feel the impact, economically and socially. But here's the lesson. Understanding the risks helps us avoid them. And maybe, just maybe, by studying history and imagining these scenarios, we can prevent them from ever becoming real. Alright, let me leave you with a question. Do you think the next world war is inevitable? Or can humanity learn from its past?